to segue lastly, um, kind of to stay on topic because these my top two, bro. It's crazy that they was beefing, but what you thinking about Kendrick's success and how he's able to sustain in this tour was kind of a success. You know what I'm saying? It's really been a really successful tour. And we like a year past the beef. How do you feel about that? Because I know a lot of people didn't think he was gonna be able to sustain this level of success.
Hey, let me tell you this. As much as sometimes people want to be like, "Yo, I'm like I'm a super fan of Drake." That's lacks objectivity. Yeah, Drake's my favorite rapper, but I give Kendrick a lot of credit. Number one, Kendrick's tour is going to be the most successful hip hop, actually one of the most successful urban tours of all time. You know what I mean? It's going to be bigger than Jay-Z. It's on pace to be bigger than Jay-Z and Beyonce tour, on the Run tour, or the Renaissance tour, whatever you want to call it, is going to be bigger than currently the biggest tour, which is Drake's tour, which is the It's a Blur tour that had Savage for one half and then J. Cole for another half. Yeah, Kendrick's success is something where not only I do think he's talented, man, I think he got a hell of a team, man. He got a hell of a team. I know some of his team personally. They have made every right. If we really think about it, the dude hasn't made one move that is like just a clear misstep. You know, and I'm gonna be honest with you. You got to give him a lot of credit. GNX as well. I think it's done pretty well. Like it's not. I don't think it's necessarily a classic, but I thought it was a good album. So I
You can't
think
do that. Don't do that,
Are
act.
you pulling that?
what
Are you gonna
You know
pull
why it
that?
was a
Don't
classic
do
act?
that, act.
What you think it was a
You know
classic?
what made it a classic?
I think it's still a
Uh,
classic.
no, you
Stop.
know the hell yeah. Know what made it a classic?
Yeah, this is a West
The
Coast
nigga, the
bias,
nigga
man.
did 12 songs with the features being pretty much all up and comers, and it did numbers.
Yeah, but anything he dropped was gonna do numbers.
I
Nah,
don't think it
fuck
was a
all that.
classic sonically though. Sonically, it wasn't a classic.
You
Who?
crazy as a motherfucker.
Hey, let me tell you.
Shit.
Hey, let me tell you what Kendrick has
Y'all
done.
niggas crazy.
Kendrick has mastered the art of timing, and he knows how to create. Again, there's only a few rappers that know how to do this. He knows how to create distance and create. I think Drake is horrible at this. Drake don't let fans miss him. Like even when everybody's biggest critique of Drake, even after the battle, was bro disappear for a little bit. He can't. Like Drake gonna be at the game. He gonna be gambling on stake. He gonna be on a stream somewhere. He gonna be chatting to a team. Like he's he's a little bit overexposed. Kendrick, he's mastered the art of timing and making people miss him, and everything he's doing is so calculated. Again, I think the album was good. I don't think it's a classic. But anything he would have dropped would have done well. You got to remember, like I think after
Bro, the nigga dropped the album. It was damn near what 6, 7 months later. May the other shit came. He didn't drop till what
A
November?
lot of that album is still top 20 on Billboard, bro. You can't say it's not a
Yeah, what are you
classic. It's a
talking
year
about,
late.
bro?
Like we getting
no, no,
we
What we
about what
But
talking
eight
but
about
months?
niggas
right
not gonna
Eight,
now?
still
we
be
like
hey,
playing a
hey,
8
bunch of
months
songs off
removed.
of GNX in
wait,
5 years, bro.
Yes,
did,
the hell we
Ah,
are.
He
wait,
performed
wait.
at Super
this is
Now
Bowl.
we
what I
gotta
like
go to
about
five.
when I talk
Wait.
about Kendrick.
Now it take 5 years for a nigga to play music for it to be a classic. Come
Wait,
on,
hold on
bro.
though.
I
I
feel
heard
like a
somebody
classic
just
album
say,
is timeless, bro. It's something niggas gonna continue
Ack, I
playing.
know what
That's
you
me
about to
personally.
do with them
Go just being an
billboard
no,
East
thing.
Coast
Don't
Okay,
do
hater.
it.
well watch
Don't
this.
do it, Ack.
Watch this. Watch this. Young Thug just dropped the singles. Niggas playing it.
Some niggas is.
Nah,
It
no,
ain't
no.
it ain't going
no,
crazy
Young
as
Thug's
Fuck
Luda
out of
missing
shit.
here.
right now.
Fuck.
Young
Come
Thug's
on,
missing the
bro.
mark. Young Thug is missing the mark right now. We can talk about it in a second. What I will say though about Kendrick, this is what I don't like about people you know who do like Kendrick. They're serial goalpost movers. And for example, like somebody had just said, and I forgot the gentleman's name that just said it. He said, yo, most of the songs are still charting well. Well, that's never the barometer, or people don't accept that as a barometer when Drake drops. We don't say, oh, this his album is always charting well, so it's a classic. We've always kind of looked at like, is it doing well? Absolutely, right? Like, it's one of the most successful albums in the last few years. Not nobody's knocking that, but when we talk about classic, we talking about Are these songs going to be still relevant in the culture not only years later? Is this album going to stand the test of time? So when y'all saying about yo, right now, anything Kendrick drop, he's going to chart crazy, right? As I said, he knows how to master the art of. If he dropped another album right now, he'd just do crazy numbers again. But
But then, what would you measure a classic then? Because if we saying that this is the best tour, biggest urban tour of all time, performed at Super Bowl, have he didn't even put the diss on there. You know what I'm saying? But still have song. I guess you saying charting don't matter. It's always mattered. I'm a fan of both of those dudes. Those are
okay,
literally my top two. I'm from Houston, bro. I'm not West Coast, so I have no bias. Trust me, Wack and me get into it about the whole situation all the time, bro. I got no bias in it. But the charts do gotta matter, bro, because we gotta have some type of litmus, And there's
I
no
agree.
way you can call this a classic based on every measure, bro. Like, there's no, like, you know what I mean? Like, literally performed at the Super Bowl, literally got on the biggest tour. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you cannot call this a classic.
I mean,
Brock,
And
it
I
ain't
think
been
Drake's
out
gonna
long enough to
drop a
call it a
classic.
classic, bro. It ain't been out long enough to call
It's
it a
been a
classic.
year, bro. I mean,
yeah,
it's almost a year. It's like
yeah,
8 months.
You can't call it a
yeah. I
classic
mean,
in
over
8 months,
time, it
bro.
might be.
Motherfucker still charting.
Might be over.
What you
Hey,
mean?
Classics got to
I ain't gonna
stand
lie.
the test of time, bro.
Nah, hell nah. Class is gonna
The
get
only
the
the only
fuck out
people
of
that's still
here,
gonna be
bro.
playing this album in 5 years is niggas on the West Coast. That's a fact.
Bro, I'm
Get
from
the fuck out
Houston.
of
Like,
here,
y'all
bro.
can't
Nigga,
say
you a
that.
lie ghost
No,
and you
that's
know it.
facts,
Play where
bro.
it's
Nah.
safe.
This
That's
not
not
one
a
of them
fact.
albums niggas gonna be
Bro, we can
playing in
argue
five
about it.
years, bro.
Yes, it is, nigga. That is a
I
cult
know y'all
classic.
said that about Kendrick 10 years ago. Can we agree?
Hello?
I'm a
And
Kendrick
here you
fan.
are
I
Can
ain't
we
gonna
asking
agree?
front.
what
I'm a
niggas is
Kendrick
talking
fan, but
about and
I
they
don't
ain't
think this
talking about
album
nothing.
is gonna be getting played in 5 years. I don't, bro.
Yeah, but
Ghost
I mean,
tripping, dog.
and look, listen, bro. I'm so unbiased. I'm the dude that's always said Drake lyrically won the battle. Strategically, Kendrick won, so he really won overall. You know what I'm saying? But so I'm not biased towards it. But at the end of the day, GNX on any measure has to be a classic. That's why I want to know, what do you think is a classic? Like, what's your barometer of a classic?
Usually a classic, it gets memorialized just with time. Again, it might be, it might end up being a classic. You know why? Because I think the moment, I think in the last year, even with the tour, again, we're gonna remember this time of just how dominant these songs and this album was, and it'll probably end up being. But I'm gonna tell you just off of just listening to it, because here's the thing. I think that not good Kim, I said, uh, To Pimp a Butterfly. I think that is Kendrick's best album, critically. But if we're gonna talk about his best album overall and the one that I don't want to say the most classic one is gonna be Damn, right? Because of the performance, is gonna be because of like that moment. The dominance of those songs is immaculate. But if we're talking about X's and O's and we're talking about like technicalities on what a great album is or what great rapping is, I don't think that's necessarily his best album for that. So that's why. So if I can't judge the full impact yet, I got to go off of just what I heard. And what I heard, those 12 songs, I don't say that's classic material, but will it perform like a classic? Yes. And will it be accepted as a classic? Most likely, because that's the album that's powered this is powered the best tour, or gonna be the best or greatest successful tour of all time. So hey, I'm not gonna fight that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of albums that didn't get certified classic immediately. There's when Chief Keef first dropped, Finally Rich, a lot of people said shit was garbage. Over time, after you realize how that shit changed music, drill culture, drill as a genre really erupted, and how it changed music. Yeah, you realize that it has to be a classic. You get what I'm saying? So, for me, I look at classics in two ways. Like, you have sonically and technically, and then you have the impact, which I think is probably one of the most important things.